Well, hello there and welcome to my workshop. Now in this series I'm building a classical style acoustic guitar, but with a difference. I do hope you'll join me. Well, hello everybody. Now then, in this episode I'm hoping to sort out the bridge, the tailstop and the fretboard. So let's get going. So in the last episode I threw out my boat bridge, that boat bridge, and made a new one. It's got to be carved, so I'm hoping to have a go at that in this episode. I also said that I was throwing out the tailstop because firstly it's in the wrong wood, and secondly it gets in the way. Look, it's all over the shop. So I've come up with a new design, a symmetrical design, which I think is going to work much better and is not going to get in the way of any of the decoration. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut that out. Now, as Owen from Entropy Guitars so cleverly put it, I'm using CAD to design this guitar, cardboard aided design, and the old Weetabix box is always good at this. And if you've not seen it, pop along and have a look at his channel. I'll put a link in the description below. He's just started a new channel, and my goodness me, if you're building guitars, it's a great channel to watch. So here we go, cardboard aided design, beautiful. Now the line there is indicating the end of the body, but I've got an idea, so I'm going to extend it a little bit beyond there. And there we go. I think this is going to look much better. There we are. Yeah, smashing. Now, I think this is rather fortuitous because I think I'm going to be able to cut it that way, which would be nice because the grain of the wood here will be running the same way as the grain on the top. So I think that's going to look quite nice. I'll cut it down this end, so if I've got any problems I can always cut another one out at the other end. I marked this round with a Chinagraph pencil. All of this was freehand drawn, and to be honest with you, I'd like to do quite a bit of shaping when I actually cut it out, because I think you can get a much better idea of the feel of the thing when you've got the sort of physical thing in front of you. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to cut this out now. Now it's quite thick, this piece of wood, and I want to leave it thick, and that's because I've got an idea for this end piece. I'm wondering if I can create a little lip, if you like, that will just go over the back there and give this tailstop some real strength. But we'll see. But by leaving the wood thick, that gives me the option to do that. What I like about this Triton Belt Sander, and I know there's a lot of others branded differently, is the fact that the belt is so versatile. What I don't like is the fact that the drives inside, the belt drives, go so quickly. So you might see this thing jump up and down, and that's because one of the belts has gone and needs to be replaced. But never mind. By the way, I made a video on how to do that, so if you get stuck, just go and find my video. I'll put a link in the description below. Right, well I do think that looks a lot better. So yeah, let's see if we can shape it a bit more. You may not be able to see it very clearly, but I've marked a centre line. I've also marked a line where the bridge is going over the end of the body there. What I need to do now is cut it to about 10 mil thick. So I've got my marking gauge here, and I'm just going to go round and mark it. Easier said than done. Right, well, I've got a line I can work to anyway. Now I don't trust myself with a bandsaw cutting this out, so got my potch saw out and got it in the vise there pretty tight. So let's see if I can do it. Well, I didn't think I was going to get that off. It took ages, that did. Anyway, that's the idea. Obviously not going to be that big on the end there, just something quite subtle. But I think that will give it rigidity. Okay. Right, okay, now then I've marked where the string holes need to be on here. And I've actually got to create a little ridge that goes across there that the strings can go through, and I've just had a quick experiment with the offcut there, and I think I can shape it. So it's very difficult to hold this in the vise, but fortunately because I've got this big chunk on the back there I can do that. So let's give it a go. In for a penny, in for a pound, as they say. Let's see what happens. Also marked it on the edge because I knew I was going to lose the marks. This appears to be working, so I'm going to get on and do the rest, and I'll come back to you once I've done. Okay, I think so far so good. I mean, it's got to be tidied up, but I think the general idea is okay. Now I need to shape the back of this. I think this needs a bit of artistic license here, so yeah, let's see what we can do. I think that looks pretty good. I've given it sort of a more organic shape, and I'm hoping that that ridge is going to be high enough for me to drill underneath so that the strings can go over the top there and wrap round. It needs to be tidied up a bit, and this needs to be shortened, but yeah, I've made a start. This Santos rosewood was really nice to carve with the chisels there, and I've done a bit of sanding on at the end there, a lot easier than the Vancol that I had before. So I'm hoping that the carving on the bridge here is going to be the same. We'll find out, but it's getting a bit late, so I need to tidy up and come back another day. Right, well, I'm back in the workshop. It's a new day, a bit chilly I have to say. Now, I have this knack of just picking the wrong type of wood for guitar building. Now, if you want to build guitars using the proper tone woods and all that malarkey, well, you probably need to find another channel, because I'm afraid I'm not the one, and I'll show you why. This beautiful piece of timber that I picked up from the Maker Show last year in Birmingham from Surrey Timbers is called Panga Panga, and it has this fantastic grain with, it looks like, you know, shards of yellow in amongst the really dark brown. I've put a little bit of water on this to show you, and I think that would make a fantastic fretboard. Certainly visually it would. Here's the thing, panga panga is a very hard wood, and in some cases it's used as a replacement for ebony. However, here's the catch, it's a bit like wenge. It has an unpredictable grain. It's not very easy to machine, it blunts tools and it can splinter. So as far as fretboards go, it's probably not the right wood to use. But do you know what? It's such a beautiful piece of wood. I'm going to have a go. Now you can't argue that that has got an amazing grain in it. All I need to do now is see if I can make it work. Now I've got 3 pieces out of that, and I've run them through the thicknesser. Now this one is quite thin, it's probably about 5mm, and it's got some shakes in it, so it's probably not going to be much good for a fretboard, so might have to use that for something else. But these 2 are okay. Of the 2, this looks the smoothest, to be honest with you, and it's a lot slightly thicker than the one over there, so I'm going to put that to one side. I've marked this up with my neck template. It's going to be a multi-scale guitar, so that's why we've got some sloping lines. I'm going to have to mark up all the frets, but I think I'll do that next week, because I'll let this settle for a week just to see what's going to happen to it. I think it's going to work. It feels quite smooth. I can see that where the grain is in some places, it might cause a problem, but I'm just wondering if it looks a little bit dodgy, if I can use Ben Crow's super glue trick that he did a while back on a thin on a softwood. He spread super glue over and it sort of filled the cracks. That might do the job. Anyway, so far so good. I don't know, there's a Brano top and a Panga Panga fretboard. What can possibly go wrong? Anyway, enough of that. I want to get back onto the bridge. And here's one I've prepared earlier. So what I've done is use the super glue and masking tape trick to stick this bridge onto a piece of wood. And I'm hoping that that's going to hold it for me while I do the shaping, because it's a strange shape and I don't think I'm going to be able to clamp it easily otherwise. So what I need to do is create a raised section here to hold the saddle and scoop it out either side of that. I just need to make sure I'm happy with that marking. I've got a professionally made bridge here, and I can see that in actual fact there's not an awful lot in front of the saddle there, or behind the saddle I should say, and not too much there, so we're probably talking a few mil, aren't we? If I can get the measure there. So it's about 5mm in front. Okay, so let's work on that basis, and I'll go 5mm each side. So it's a bit of a blunt instrument, this marker pencil here, but give me a guide. Yeah, I'm not far off, to be honest with you. I think I'll just move that line out a bit. I tend to go at these things a bit too fast and not take my time, so I'm going to try and take my time with this. Here we go. Scoop it out. Let's see what happens. Let's start at the edge. This is nice wood to work with. I'm trying to give it a boat-like shape. It's sort of coming on that side. I think I'm going to turn it round now and have a go at the other side. Well, I've been at this now for about 40 minutes. As you can see, I've sort of channeled out the sides of the boat, trying to create that sort of boat effect. It's all a bit rough at the moment. I have to be all sanded down. I think I'm on the right lines. But I think it's time for a cup of tea. Okay, I'm back after having a cup of tea and done a little bit more tidying up on this. Needs to be sanded quite a bit, but my idea is to stick one of these barbecue skewers on the side. I've just flattened one side of this, so that will just go round there. Oopsie daisy, let's get that. So I think that's going to give it the same sort of effect as the model that I'm working from. I like that a lot. I've got the slot there that's looking reasonably tidy, could be tidied up a bit more. What I'm going to do now is just do something with these ends. These make them sort of a little bit more rounded, because the last thing you want is to catch your hand on that. Okay, I think it's about time for a quick progress shot. I've sprayed these with water to give you an idea of how they're going to look once they're oiled, but yeah, they're coming on. Obviously needs a bit more shaping, sanding off, that sort of thing. I've got the darker fretboard here, which I think is going to work really well with the top. So yeah, I'm really pleased with what I've done. Well, thank you once again for watching. I think I got quite a bit done this week, and so it's really coming on this project. Thank you for all your comments. I really do appreciate them. And if you haven't done yet, please don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the like button if you like it. You never know. Anyway, right, I better tidy this all up. So I'll see you soon. In the meantime, stay safe. Cheers.